Ahoy people, Vaniverse here with another video on Divinity Original Sin 2. In this video I cover my solo Tactician run against Radeka the Witch. She's a boss in the Act 1. You can get a quest from slaying the dragon to go kill her to free him from his bindings. And she's actually pretty tough because of what's surrounding her and kind of how the fight works. I hope this video is helpful. I'll commentate through it to kind of give you some tips and tricks on how I beat it and maybe things I would have done differently since this was my first run through the game. And I hope this will definitely help other people and you guys like these types of videos. So if you do like this video, make sure to give it the thumbs up. Leave your comments below if you have any questions or comments about the video. We answer all comments of the community as long as it's constructive. And then lastly, make sure to sub to this channel. Click on the icon bottom right hand corner. I'm going to have a lot of videos coming out on Divinity Original Sin 2. I hope to get some stuff done this weekend, so stay tuned for that. Alright people, without further ado, let's begin. So to start this fight out, you can go up there and she'll put you in conversation, but you don't want to do that because you're going to get owned by all the ads. So what I do here is I haste myself, I throw a fossil strike at her just to hit her, and then I run like hell. And the reason why I do this is because as soon as she gets hit and becomes aggressive, all these ads spawn. You can see them in the mini map. There's 4, plus there's I think 2 more in the back. So there's a total of I believe six things you got to kill in this fight. The witch, 3 carrion beetles, and I believe 3 zombies. Now, the zombies aren't a big deal. The carrion beetles are. So what I'm going to do to start this fight out is I'm going to put my pet in the little fire I just put on the ground there with my Syrian blades, and I want to do fire damage due to the zombies. They take major fire damage, and that's kind of my goal here. But before I get to the zombies, I want to take out a carrion beetle first. You can't have 2 or 3 of these carrion beetles beating on you at the same time. You will die very quickly. They do a lot of damage and they shred you, and because they can kind of jump around with that carrion wing, they can get the height advantage on you, which does even more damage. So that's why I chose to run back here, and then I can funnel them through this little area here so that they can't get a height advantage on me, and then also to get to me they have to get through fire and all these other things. So that's kind of my goal, is to take out this one carrion beetle before anything else can get to me, and then eventually kill everything else. Now these zombies will need to be taken care of, but what I'll probably end up doing is put some either some poison on the ground or some fire, most likely fire because they're zombies, so poison heals them, and then make them run through that in order to get to me and kite them backwards. So it's a really good strategy to do solo or even duo, is to always kite the things you're fighting backwards, because they have to run through whatever ground you put on taking damage, and then on top of that they can't do attacks because they're wasting their AP. And I use that strategy a lot as a solo player, especially early on, when your gear is not really that great and your fights are pretty much outnumbered when there's 1 of you and 6 of them. So at this point my incarnate's almost dead. I got a totem up, but the 1 carrion beetle is about to die. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to use Worm Tremor, and Worm Tremor, if they don't have magic resist, is going to entangle them. So you'll see that I get an entangle off on 3 of the 4, and then on top of that I'm going to throw another fossil strike on this 1 carrion beetle, and I want to try and kill it here, and because he's on fire he dies. So I'm down 1 carrion beetle, so I got 2 beetles, 3 zombies, and the witch left. I'm gonna Soothing Cold myself, which basically every turn will give me a little bit of magic resist, which is helpful. My pet just died, and now I'm getting 2 attacks from this 1 carrion beetle, and you can see how much they're chunking me for. So that's why having 2 or 3 of them beating on you at one time is super bad, and that's why I didn't go down there and talk to her, because I would have been down at the bottom where all these things can hit me and attack me, and that's just not something I was planning on doing. So now my incarnate and my totem are done. I'm still doing pretty good with armor and magic resist. So at this point, what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to back up and then try and lay some more ground damage. Most likely what I'll do is my normal combo, which is rain plus contaminate and then light it on fire. So with that last hit, I am almost out of magic. I'm going to rain. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down Contaminate. That'll get rid of the electricity. and what it'll do is it'll actually let me heal as I run through it, which at this point is not a huge deal. And then what I can do from here is basically buff myself and try and get a little bit further away. So I'm trying to line of sight. It doesn't work real well in this game, but as soon as the zombies get closer, I can then light up that poison and light them all on fire and continue to take out one of the carrion beetles. And then, see, this one's stuck. He jumped up there. He doesn't know where I am. There's a smoke cloud in front of him. So we pretty much took him out of the fight as well as the witch, which is good. So now all we have to contend with are, I think, 4 zombies and a carrion beetle. So here we go. Soothing cold on myself. And now I'm going to light this up with my searing blades. And then I put a totem out here. I shouldn't have put a totem out at this point. I should have done fortify. And it's a mistake I make that could have easily made it a little bit easier for me. I do end up fortifying, I believe, next turn, but I should have done it this turn instead of laying down that totem. Because that totem took 1 shot, big deal. Like, I've come to realize that laying totems is not worth it. They cost 2 points, and they really don't do the damage you want them to do, at least early on. And in a group of 4, if you had like 4 summoners and they all had totems, that would make sense. But solo, it's not worth wasting 2 AP casting a totem. So that totem just died. And now we have the carrion beetle in her face, and we still have 2 more zombies coming through. And, yep, still more zombies. The witch can't, she just doesn't know what to do, and neither does the other carrion beetle, which is kind of my savior. Gonna impale these guys here, do some damage, explode the fire, hit them with another fireball, boom, and then put another fossil strike out there. I just want to take out this carrion beetle. I know this zombie's probably gonna get to my face, but I'm more afraid of the carrion beetle than I am the zombie. Now, if I would have put on fortify that last round, then this zombie that's going to get in my face would not do near the damage he's about to do to me, and almost kill me, which is a bad decision. But they're all running through the fire. They're all almost dead, and I can hopefully finish the fight here very, very soon. Now, he gets his 2 spits on me again. This guy burns his way through the fire, which is great. So they're all kind of clustered right in the fire where I want them to be, but they still get this range crawling kiss on me, which is chunking me every turn, and I got to do something about it. So all the zombies are pretty much half dead, as well as the carrion beetle. So at this point, it's a matter of, can I kill them before I die? So we put our pet back out. Again, I shouldn't use a totem here. This is a waste. I magic resist myself, and I should fortify myself here. But I don't, and it's a bad decision. I could fortify and then contaminate, and then probably still done something else more productive than to put out a totem. So here's my contaminate, and I already fortified. So right there, the fire, this guy died, he exploded, it caused necro fire and died. And then right here, boom, we took out another one. And now the carrion beetle is going to probably die here very soon, as well as the other zombies, because we're almost dead. Boom, there goes another zombie. And the carrion beetle both died to the necrofire. So all I have left now is the zombie in my face and the other 2. So the zombie in my face, boom, and then I take another hit. So my fortify, you can see, is still up. I never used it, and that was a bad decision on my part. However, we can finish this guy off here. We're going to teleport him into that wonderful necrofire, get him out of my face. And then what we can do is we can worm tremor him so he can't move because he has no magic resist. And now he is entangled. And then we can soothing or fortify. I'm going to fortify, but it really doesn't matter at this point because he's not going to be able to get to me. Those 2 still don't know what's going on. And then the necrofire kills him. Now, because I'm so far away from the witch and I'm so far away from the other beetle, it actually resets the fight, which is a huge thing for me. So I have the ability now to heal up in this poison cloud or just heal up in any of the poison, and then I can go back in and finish off the fight with the witch and the other carrion beetle, and you can kind of see what she does and how to fight her. But before we go, let me bathe in a pool of my own poison because I don't have a bedroll because I didn't even know a bedroll existed when I did this playthrough. Now, the Radeka the Witch fight. So I have her and a carrion beetle left. The problem is she is immune to fire. You can see the red swirlies around her, which I didn't know until just now. And Fireball and Supernova are probably my two hardest hitting damage abilities at this point, next to Fossil Strike and Impale. So it's going to be a little bit harder for me because my whole strategy in this up to this point is to use oil and poison and then light it on fire to do the massive amount of damage. So right here, my choices are to try and get a couple attacks in, but I decide forget about it. I'm just going to buff myself, put a little magic resist on, put a little haste on, and then get up on top here to have a little bit of a range advantage, and also distance myself from the witch so I can single out the carrion beetle. The carrion beetle is still going to be my main target because they just do too much damage to let them alone. I still want to finish him off first and then focus on the witch. Now I can hit him with my impale, do some damage, get a little oil, and I can throw my searing daggers or blades, light him on fire, and then I'll put my pet down behind him to get a couple attacks on him, and then hopefully if he tries to run away, another attack of opportunity. So at this point, I'm going to save everything else, just hit myself with peace of mind, and get a little extra stats. And then, boom, one attack, two attacks, and he's burning, and I get an attack of opportunity. So he gets one shot off on me, and then his turn is over. The witch kind of comes and does a dazzling bolt. So the witch ability is arrow thurge for dazzling bolt, but pretty much she's a necro. She does like shackles of pain, blood rain, stuff like that. You did notice that with my pet I didn't waste my fireball right away. I actually waited till he was at range to use my fireball. So that's the benefit of not using it when they're right underneath you, unless you have an AoE and several mobs. Now right here, I'm going to teleport the witch away. I don't really want her in my face. And then I can use my wonderful Supernova ability to finish off the carrion beetle because it does tons of damage. Now, the problem with Supernova is if you don't have fire resist, it does tons of damage to you. So you can see my magic resist is now completely, my magic armor, I'm sorry, is now completely gone. So we're down to her. I have a fire pet, which is worthless right now because every attack he does will heal her. Boom, she heals. And I have fireball up, which is worthless. So I'm going to rain down. And then right here, I do a really, really silly thing. I actually end up putting my pet out in the water, which that's not the silly part. That's okay, because, you know, a water totem is still going to do damage to her. But then I use Worm Tremor on her when she has full magic armor, and I willingly do it and hit my own two guys. Now, so I just killed the totem I wasted 2 points on. I entangled my incarnate, and she was unaffected. So terrible mistake right there. Waste of 2 AP and a waste of Worm Tremor. So now again, I have this worthless pet. So I'm just gonna wait until my incarnate is up again, so I can just swap pets. And at this point, I'm probably just, you know, I have none of my Fossil Strike on or anything, so I need to switch out my wands. So I'm going to switch to a water wand and try and do some damage to her just wanding. But first I'm going to buff my magic resist because it's down to nil from doing that Supernova that really hit my magic resist. So got some haste on, and then boom, a little peace of mind here. And now I'm just going to run up a little bit closer to her. So there's a lot of smoke going on. I don't think I can see her, and I don't think she can see me, and that's why she dominates my incarnate. Now, my incarnate is not up yet, so I can't recast it. So I'm just going to pop shot her with a basic attack here, and then I realize I do have Impale and I do have Fossil Strike. So we're going to Impale her because she's not immune to oil. She's immune to fire, but it did cause some fire around her, which is kind of a pain, but the slow and the damage is still worth it. I'm chunking away at her magic resist, and then I do poison just to try and catch her with it, but also to heal myself, get myself poisoned so I can start healing. Now she teleports me down into the poison, which is good for me because I like poison. My pet dies, which is also great timing, and at this point I can put a totem down here, and then I can just run through the poison because it heals me. I didn't put Fortify up yet because I'm not completely done with it. I probably should have fortified right here, but I didn't. So it's her turn. She hits me with Mosquito Swarm, which pretty much takes away the rest of my physical armor and puts bleed on me, and then she Shackles of Pain me. Now, Shackle of Pain basically means any damage she takes, you take. And that's okay if you have the armor to sustain it. So in this case, I do magic damage, so as long as my magic armor is high enough, I can still do damage to her. She takes the damage, and I'm unaffected because my magic armor absorbs it. So I just hasted myself. Now I'm going to Fortify, and then Peace of Mind, and then I'm going to put another pet up here. No, I'm not going to put a pet in because what I want to do is I want to teleport her down into the poison. And then what I can do is put a pet and keep her in the poison. And then I think lastly what I do is I do the Soothing Cold and get my magic up even more. So all the magic damage I do to her, I will be blocking it with my magic armor, so hopefully I can kill her faster than I die from the damage I do. So at this point, again, Worm Tremor would be pointless because she still has magic resist. So I put another totem down, and then I cast my Incarnate Pet in the actual poison, make a Poison Incarnate, which is good because she is not immune to poison. And then I can hit her with a Fossil Strike as well. So more magic resist so that when I hit her with the Fossil Strike, it doesn't hurt me. My magic armor protects it. So now, another attack, and then a Poison Bolt, and you can see that every time we hit her, I'm taking the damage on my magic armor from it. So at this point, my magic armor is almost, it's hurting pretty good, but we'll be okay. So Pet gets to run up here, gets another attack, and I don't think I end up attacking because I run through the oil and it slows me, so I can't attack. So now I have my choice of what I'm going to do here, and Impale's up again. And I probably want to switch to a Poison Wand over a Water Wand, but I think Impale's the best bet here. So hit Impale, get some oil, slow her, and then what I can do is I do Worm Tremor now because she doesn't have magic resist, so she will be entangled and now she can't move, and then 2 basic attacks. Now you'll notice that my Poison Pet shoots me because I'm undead and poison heals me, and I don't think it has a line of sight on her, so that's why it shoots me. And now the Shackle of Pain is gone, which is good. I can put another totem down. I'll put it up here in the oil from my Impale. And then I can buff up a little bit here. Another Soothing Cold on myself. Get my magic resist back up. And then I can haste myself and then try and run up there and get to her. But she's probably going to die before I get a chance at her. I run right through the oil like a dummy and remove my haste. So my oil totem hit her, and now my pet finishes her off. So there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like the video if you like it. Thanks for watching. Vaniverse and Vaniverse Gaming. Cheers.